Today, Precarious plays
Samurai Legend Musashi. Paralyzing palm. I hate how it's...
That's a little skull in his belly.
No, he's a man. There's a man in there.
But the man's up there, on his shoulders.
No, he flips.
Oh, he does! Oh, man. How? Why? Okay.
I hate how these keep dropping coin.
What on earth do you need coin for in this place?
I mean, in a boss situation, I feel like they should have maybe asked the game to just have health, you know?
Yeah. Or maybe MP, or a mixture of those things. Oh, yep. That's a doozy. This is feeling quite a lot like the last ridiculous boss we fought. Like, it even has pinchy claws. Like this.
The camera is too close. The camera control options, they're not there. They're non-existent. It resets all of my crap every time I die.
Oh, yeah. That always sucks.
Yeah?
I'm not going to stop us until we're home.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Cool.
So I think there's a way that I can cheese the game. Like, this is what I'm starting to try to beat the designers, not actually the game, right?
Yeah,
like that's what's
a
happening
sad
here.
Feeling.
Because I'm trying to figure out how I can abuse features of the game. Like, I noticed whenever you use one of your special sword techniques, one of your great sword techniques,
Yeah.
you become temporarily invulnerable.
So why not use that invulnerability to just stand in the way of an attack and then be closer, or some other similar thing?
Well, the camera is too close, and I'm too slow, and I don't have appropriate defensive or dodging techniques. You know? Mm-hmm. If they're there, the game is not explaining to me in a way that's very clear, like when I should attack and when I should go on the defense. Oh, gracious. I didn't want to...
Aren't you generous?
I didn't want to do a dirty.
Aww.
So see, if I do tremor thrust, sometimes it keeps me out of harm's way enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Dude,
Okay, now he's about to flip.
this dude is like... Damn. Wow. Spadoof. Oh, whoa. We should just leave him underground.
So it's weird because this game, if it was ever trying to compete with Legend of Zelda... Oh, okay, that was a nice one. If it was ever trying to compete with Legend of Zelda, it really seems like they went in on the fighting, right? Because the puzzles are not nearly as robust.
No. Oh my god.
So why does Wind Waker's combat, why do I remember it feeling more engaging and diverse and fun?
Because you had all kinds of different toys to use, like the boomerang. And, like, you remember the boss where it has all of the strings coming down from the ceiling? Ah, you're awake. I do love his outlines.
It's very...
Oh, and I love her outlines, too.
I like her little, like, poof poof. I remember her. Because she's...
Her head is steaming.
Yeah. But it is a very visually appealing game. Fine. Let's get back to the archives. Nerd!
You think she's okay? No, bro. Oh my god, what the hell are his goggles for? I just noticed that his lenses aren't red, they have X's on them.
Maybe. No, maybe it's the inverse of that. Maybe they have stupid little, like, dark
Triangles.
triangles, and it's your, whenever you look through them, it creates like a sort of natural crosshair effect.
Nope, he never uses them. Not buying it.
So are you trying to say that the goggles do nothing?
I'm trying to say that they do at least as much as his pants straps.
I've been doing some deep thoughts about his possible applications for the pant straps.
I mean, sometimes if you're flying through the air with an important sword technique, maybe you could get stuck on something uncomfortably.
And then mess it up royally?
Yeah, like, that could be good, right? No.
That's my personal favorite, yes.
Well, and I think that maybe it's just supposed to visually represent, oh gosh, what are those big samurai pants called?
Well, I was going to bring that up earlier, but then I didn't because it was stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Because I didn't want to excuse the game because his pants are already very baggy.
Yeah. Well,
underneath.
I mean, okay, let's not pretend like it doesn't look kind of cool. Like, okay, so...
It does look a little cool,
cool.
I don't think this design of Musashi, save for maybe the hair, because I actually really do like his hair.
His doofy hair,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I liked Brave Fencer Musashi's hair and his overall outfit just as much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at least this, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least they give you incentive, numerical incentive here, very clear, numbered reasons to get the slightly better healing items.
Yeah.
Because if you look per what is it? What is the currency? Is it actually just yen?
I don't know. I do not recognize that symbol.
Money, right?
Money, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that symbol doesn't seem super familiar. Maybe Bale can take a quick look around and see if that's a symbol that is rooted in reality. Anyway, per money unit spent, you're getting more healing by a little bit at each level. So see here, to restore 150 HP with rye bread, it would take 3, and you would spend 1,500 money. Maple scone, it's 150 HP for 1 item, and you are only paying 1,400.
So it at least allows you to do that math here when you're talking about items.
Yes.
So maybe that's useful.
I only have...
Does it come into play, like, do you get items later that modify your strength and things like that?
Yeah, right, actually, I have some.
Okay, well then maybe it's not so ridiculous, but why such big numbers, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just... Because the enemies... My personal favorite isn't used very often, but I like it whenever they use both. They have segments of health, but then they also have a numerical value assigned to each. And I very rarely will games be upfront about this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use Metroid, dirty word that it is. I'm going to use that as an example. So imagine if there was like a super, I don't know, maybe like a Super Metroid RPG environment.
Yeah.
Where they gave Samus a role-playing game, and she had energy tanks, and each one was worth 100 energy. But maybe there are some enemy attacks that do a value expressed in energy tanks. And then maybe some enemies do a value
expressed in like energy.
Energy
so like
units.
Somebody can do 50 damage or 2 tanks. Like a big bad boss would do like 2 tanks of damage.
Yeah, and the difference between the two is that maybe you would have some sort of energy shielding defensive value that could reduce 1, but those big attacks, like maybe a boss to encourage hasty victory, always pushes you towards trying to achieve victory quickly, because like every 3 minutes or every so many turns, he does an attack that always just does 3 energy tanks worth of damage.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've seen a lot of HUDs that kind of do that for you. They segment your health bar so that you can kind of look at it as segments.
Well, Mass Effect, I think.
Yeah, that's
2,
exactly what I was talking about.
It was in 2, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But that actually, I think, only works from the player's perspective concerning healing. Because you can heal a certain number of bricks of health, right?
Yeah.
And you can regenerate up to the current the current quarter of your health.
Yeah.
Whichever quarter you're in. So you can go up to 25 from 12, but you can't go from 12 to 50.
Right.
Naturally, without
I think
like
that's
external
how it
healing.
worked. Well,
Yeah.
anyways.
If not, it was close enough. And that was probably Mass Effect 2. Oh, sweet.
Yes, literally.
And we'll finish up in town and then we'll quit.
Okay, cool. I love her hair. I want it. I want the hair.
Oh wait, is that a truth?
What? Your name?
She said to
Kyrie?
remember to finish your ice cream before it melts, and they might have actually included that.
Oh, okay. Before it melts, remember.
Yeah, because see, you have dry ice that keeps your ice cream cold.
Oh, wow.
Because these restore MP, and that's why they're valuable. Okay, so I'll get that on my way out.
Yes.
But this is actually the accessory shop. We've been here before. And I bought a variety of small boosting items. Excuse me.
You want it?
Why does that look like a cat?
What?
When it pans out again. Well, no, maybe not a cat. Maybe a snowman. To
Oh.
the...
On the right.
I've got
Yeah.
it.
Wearing a hat.
So see, I bought the heart earrings because they increase my luck by a massive amount. So I feel like I have quite a bit of money. And I feel like that's because I was running around with my luck increasing item on, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Well...
Going back for a minute to how I think that luck is like not a good stat in this game. And I think that all of these stats are unitaskers, you know?
Yeah.
They just do like one thing, and that's really frustrating and boring. You know what game that you played recently, and I played it a little bit, that was really great? Steven Universe Attack the Light. Because so many of those stats were pulling double duty.
Yes, they were, because if you get better luck, it does, like, it changes how other effects are applied and how often they are applied and things like that.
Because like sometimes whenever you crit, you have a chance to like light enemies on fire, like that effect was one, right?
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
Like that.
So like, well, not just when you crit, like when you well, I don't think it was called critting, but when you hit with good timing, because it's how would you describe it? It's a turn-based RPG with...
I'll just say this and then people will get it. It's very, very much like Paper Mario and Super Mario RPGs. Like the Mario and Luigi RPGs. And it is quite possibly as good.
I love it so much. I wish I could play it for you guys.
It is the
It's
best.
it's on the tablet though.
It's the best thing I've ever played on a tablet.
Yes, hands down. All 4 hands, all the way down.
That's lame.
What?
It was like several thousand
Productive day.
money for what would have been like I can't even remember. I think it was either 10 or 20 more luck.
Awesome. I did 100% that game. I don't do that with very many games. Usually I'll just play through and just be like, meh.
And you found out
Done.
you were at like 98% and couldn't find like a couple of the secrets and went online to see if you could find like a
Yeah, like an
walkthrough.
FAQ, and we couldn't find one.
I
Like
think
there
it's weird.
wasn't one, which is super strange for the quality of game that it is. That I think that like it should have a walkthrough, you know?
Or like a wiki or something.
Just anything. I mean, it does have a wiki, but it's just not... It doesn't have as much information on it as I'm used to seeing from other games that I have to look up. Like, some games, like, they'll tell you who sneezes in what cutscene and how that affects the end game boss fight. And this one, it was like, some of the enemies are blue, and some are purple, and some of them fight you, and some of them have shields. It's good. Uh-huh. Like, that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
So I think that the next time we sit down to play this game,
I know.
I think that...
I know.
What? What about the cards? Sure. It's just 10% of my dollars. Never again! Goodbye!
Well, that's what you get.
I thought that maybe a lot of games use fortune tellers as like a way to buff your character temporarily. Like I thought that she was going to improve my luck or some such the next time I went out to the field.
Yeah, well, and considering the type of universe this is with all the, you know, magic and stuff, fortune teller's not far-fetched, you know? Like, sure. Why not?
No, wait. I think
Kitty.
I think I was a little hasty
Were you hasty?
because she said I see visions of my people, but they're still out of your reach. I think she might be a recovery mechanism for people that don't scour the maps very carefully. Now I'm hoping that whenever I talk to this guy, he's going to teach me the parry, like the counterattacks, please. Okay, whatever. Maybe they'll give me a heads up in the story, like in dialogue, whenever he can. He teaches you a couple of like cool techniques, and I guess that it's just not time for that yet.
It's not time.
So before we stop for today, is there anything that you want to wrap up? Was there anything that we left hanging that you remember?
Nope.
Okay.
Guess not. This is an awfully long pause. Forgive. Steven Universe is the best. Let's go play it.
I think it might be better than this. Although, this is fun.
Yeah.
Here, we'll end with the cool...
Aww.
See, the first game had action figures you could collect.
Yeah. So cute.
Wait, no. So there is something that I want to compare. I want to compare this game to Ocarina of Time quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that visually it was trying to sort of borrow from Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the weird stuff that it does wrong, Ocarina of Time did right years earlier. And I think that some of the adventuring elements and a lot of the world elements and some of the thematic elements and a lot of what you do as Musashi was also covered by Ocarina of Time. Which is really bizarre for me. Because, for example, Ocarina of Time, I think I've gone on record as saying... What did I say before? Honey's everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Ocarina of Time has cute girls, like, very intentionally every few hours.
Yes, it does.
And I feel like this game does that too.
Yeah.
All of the Sage-esque characters you save,
They're all girls?
they're all girls. They're all women.
Mm-hmm.
They even do like the same arrangement where you have Forest Girl, Fire Girl, Water Girl, like sort of Dark Girl, Spear, and then like Neutral Girl.
Yeah.
Because you have just all of those, and they even hit some of the same notes where, like, the last one that you find sort of starts out kind of on the bad guy team, you know? Like, you've already seen the last one that helps you, the shadow one, because she was in the earlier cutscene where everybody was, like, talking to the big trench-coated boss man.
Right.
And she came in sort of like her floating platform off to the side. You have the one really strong one that you meet just before that, and it's Sheik in Ocarina of Time.
Right.
And it is a tough spear fighter, I think, in this one. She's the girl that I believe can eventually fight you in an arena setting, and she is physically... Like, if it were a different game and if they were trying to do anything other than create sort of like a cool, heroic power fantasy for young dudes, she could have just as easily been like a main character.
Right.
Because she has the same capabilities that Musashi has, seemingly, and she's just limited by the storytelling.
Right.
To occasionally, I think even compared to the other characters, we'll get there and we'll see, but I sort of, because I tend to remember the best of characters,
Yeah.
and just sort of like my mind blanks out the rest, I remember her being like even less damsel in distress-ified than the other characters.
So she was just like, hey, can you help me? Instead of like...
Like, I still think she has the situation where at one point she's wounded and you have to carry her through a part of the level. That said, I still think that she might directly, if I remember correctly, I think she might directly aid you in some combat encounters. Like she fights
with more than her feet.
Yes, she fights as an NPC alongside you, I think. And I'm going to be disappointed if I get there and it's not true.